Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're decoding what I call the ultimate feline translation gap. I'm talking about the massive disconnect between our loving human intentions and how our cats actually experience them. You absolutely love your cat, right? But it turns out some of the completely normal things we do every single day might be quietly destroying their trust and well-being, and we totally miss it. So, that brings us to a pretty provocative question. Are your everyday habits secretly pushing your cat into survival mode? Because yeah, the things we casually do might actually be breaking our cat's trust without us even having a clue. And the worst part, most of us have absolutely no idea it's happening until the damage is already done. Let's look at the science of cat behavior to figure out exactly why they react the way they do and how we can actually bridge this gap to give them a much happier, healthier life.
Okay, let's kick things off with Act 1, the feline translation gap.
We've all been there. Your cat knocks your favorite glass off the counter or decides your expensive new couch is a scratching post, and naturally, you raise your voice. In the moment, it feels like the right thing to do, right? You think you're teaching them cause and effect. But the truth is, to a cat, there is zero connection between their action and your anger. They just learn that you are an unpredictable, terrifying monster. They literally don't process cause and effect the way a dog or a human does. Now, what's incredibly fascinating and honestly a bit heartbreaking is this 2021 study from the Journal of Animal Cognition. It proves that yelling actually just causes them to hide or overgroom. It definitely doesn't fix the behavior. You aren't teaching them a lesson at all. You're just teaching them that you aren't safe. Over time, your cat starts flinching when you walk by. To us, it looks like they're just being moody or distant, so we rarely realize that, well, we're the ones who actually caused it.
Moving right along to Act 2, the illusion of affection.
This translation gap totally extends into how we show affection too. Think about it. We scoop them up for a big hug, or we wiggle our fingers to play with them. But why does this almost always result in a scratch or a totally sudden bite? You walk over, pick them up because they look adorable, and hold them tight. Or maybe you do that playful finger rustling thing. To us humans, it's pure love and fun. To them, it is a completely different story. The reality here is absolutely crucial. Being lifted totally removes their control. In the wild, a cat's paws only ever leave the ground when a predator has snatched them up. So by picking them up without warning, you're literally mimicking a predator and stripping away their sense of safety. And when you use your fingers as toys, you're basically training them that human skin is prey. They aren't being aggressive when they randomly bite your hand later. They're literally just playing the hunting game you taught them.
Data from the Journal of Veterinary Behavior perfectly illustrates how forced affection just spikes their stress hormones. When they're frequently picked up, their body quietly shifts into survival mode, flooding with cortisol. Sure, some cats just go limp and tolerate it, but tolerating is definitely not enjoying. On the flip side, when you just sit down and let them come to you, when the cat initiates the contact, it actually builds a bond that is 10 times stronger.
Which brings us to Act 3, hidden environmental stressors. These miscommunications don't just happen face-to-face. They're actually built right into our modern, super tidy homes. Take the litter box, for example. We love to hide them in loud, cramped corners, like next to a noisy washing machine or tucked deep inside a closet, because, well, it suits us. But findings from the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery show that trapping them in a vulnerable state creates immense anxiety. Going to the bathroom is a cat's absolute most vulnerable moment. If they only have one way out, every instinct in their body screams that they're trapped. So when they start avoiding the box, we get frustrated and punish them. But the cat was never being difficult. They were just terrified. Furthermore, a silent, perfectly clean room might look fantastic to us, but it feels like an absolute sensory prison to a cat who's wired for stimulation. Out in the wild, their world is packed with movement, sounds, vertical spaces to stalk, and little places to hide. When we strip all of that away to just four walls and a comfy couch, their brain literally has nothing to do. And let me tell you, a bored cat is absolutely a stressed cat. This creates a continuous stress cycle, exactly as highlighted in applied animal behavior science. An empty environment causes an understimulated cat to act out. Then, that leads to the owner yelling, which, as we covered earlier, makes the cat feel completely unsafe, generating this massive self-feeding loop of anxiety. The environment isn't somehow separate from their behavioral problems. The environment is the problem. Let's transition to Act 4, the silent health threat. Now, we need to talk about a silent biological threat that's hiding right in plain sight, their food bowl. It is absolutely vital to remember that cats actually evolved as desert animals. Because of that, their ancestors naturally got almost all of their hydration directly from the prey they ate,
Because of this totally unique biology, cats just aren't wired to drink enough water out of a bowl on their own. It just doesn't happen naturally.
So here's the massive problem. Dry kibble contains only about 10% moisture. Most of us feed exclusively dry food because, let's be honest, it's cheap and it's easy. But by doing this, you are unintentionally leaving your cat in a state of chronic, low-level dehydration every single day of their life.
Consequently, this chronic lack of water significantly increases their risk of kidney disease and urinary crystals, which is heavily documented by the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery. These are incredibly common but highly preventable health issues. And it's honestly heartbreaking because cats won't complain to you. They will just quietly get sicker. And by the time you actually notice the physical symptoms, the internal damage has usually been building up for years.
But don't worry, here is Act 5, Bridging the Gap.
The really good news here is that we can turn all of this around, and the behavioral fixes are wonderfully simple. First, let them come to you for affection. Just wait for them to initiate. Second, use a wand toy or a feather on a string. Just use anything that puts physical distance between your skin and their teeth, so they get that awesome hunting experience completely safely. And finally, move that litter box out to a low-traffic, open area where they have at least 2 escape routes. You'll be absolutely amazed at how fast their anxiety drops. Now, to heal their physical health and their environment, try introducing wet food to their diet, even just once a day, for that absolutely vital hydration. Brands like Royal Canin are the gold standard here, or Nulo is a fantastic budget-friendly option. And to fix that sensory prison we talked about, enrich your home. Add some vertical shelves, window perches, or grab a puzzle feeder. Honestly, even just leaving a paper bag out on the floor or playing bird videos when you leave the house makes their world feel totally alive again. Which leaves us with this final thought. When you step back and look at all of this together, it becomes incredibly clear. Your cat's bad behavior isn't an act of defiance at all. It's really just a plea for understanding. They are simply reacting to an environment and a communication style that goes totally against their deepest, wildest instincts. So with all these insights in mind, how will you adapt your home today to finally speak their language?